Life is filled with unexpected happenings. In 2008, people working cooperatively met Pam and Joseph and unexpectedly changed their lives. This is their story. On a summer day in 1996, 2-year-old Joseph accidentally fell into the neighborhood pool. No one is certain how long Joseph struggled in the water. By the time he was found, Joseph was not responsive.
We pulled up to the house and my second oldest daughter said, "Joseph's hurt, he fell in the pool and it's bad." The very next memory I've got of that is going through the emergency room and knowing that if I could see him, he'd be all right. When you've got kids, you fix it. And I just knew if I could put my hands on him, he'd be all right, I could fix him. It didn't quite work out like that. He had no idea I was there. They were bringing him out to airlift him to Children's. The next thing was the doctor saying, you know, we need to talk because you all need to sit down. He's not going to survive the night. And there was this little, I can't explain what it was. It was just something that said, be still. And I knew he was going to be all right. I knew we were going to get to keep him.
After 4 months in the hospital, Pam met with the rehab doctors.
The rehab doctors had their conference and said, basically, it was a list of things he would never be able to do. He would never walk, never talk, never smile, never have any facial expression, never be able to eat by mouth or feed himself or express any opinions. There was an entire list of things he would never do.
Contrary to what the doctors predicted, Joseph has a wide range of abilities.
Joseph is one of the most unique cases I've ever had, and Joseph is the only one that can communicate in a way that you can directly understand him. He blinks, 1 for no, 2 or more for yes, and there's no other kid that I have that can do that. He understands you, he has a great personality, he likes to tease you. He's a really neat kid.
For the first 3 years after Joseph's accident, he didn't laugh or smile. After a major back surgery in 2005, Joseph began to make even more progress.
After the surgery, he grew. He went from, I guess it was about not quite 60 pounds, he was like 56 pounds before the surgery. He's topping out at right around 115 now.
Getting in and out of the house, we cannot do it by ourselves. It has to be 2 people. So if mom's not here or if I'm not here, it's a problem. She can't lift him up without me and I can't get him down without her.
So we don't leave unless there's somebody to help us in and out. Harder coming in because you're going up the steps. So I usually hang on to one end and I back up and lift as somebody stands in front of us and lifts the chair up and we just move together. We
have limited space here. So being able to get him to the bathtub from his chair safely, it was a challenge. He's heavy, he's 14 years old. He's just about as tall as me, so it was a challenge. A lot of times, if I couldn't scoop him myself, I needed help from mom.
We push his wheelchair up to the bathroom door. We put another seat and we put that in the bathtub and I scoop him up and put him in.
Now a single parent with limited income, Pam's home was literally falling down around her while she focused solely on Joseph's round-the-clock care.
PWC I knew did like weatherization, that kind of thing. And PWC did come to weatherize. They put a new furnace in. They put a new fridge in. In the process, the young man that was getting a list together for the things for the furnace saw us giving Joseph a bath, getting him ready to give him a bath. And he wanted to know if that was all we had and how we were managing. And he said, "Why don't you ask PWC?" I didn't know they did this.
The Tollivers are a family in Bellevue, Kentucky, and they were in dire need of not just a ramp, but a bathroom so that Joseph could bathe properly and get his needs taken care of.
John Hay called for the first time. He checked everything out and he said, you know, we're going to see what we can do about getting funding, but I can't promise anything. It wasn't, I don't even think it was 2 weeks later, I heard from him again. And he said that they had gotten the funding, and it was really great because I've waited since November 2005.
You know, things aren't always fair. They aren't always even. Things happen in people's lives that they don't expect, and it's not because they're not working hard or they're not trying hard or they're not smart and capable. But misfortune can occur. And when you're down, you don't have to be out, and you can be trying, but sometimes we all need a little helping hand to get up and over that edge to be more successful. And that's what PWC does.
When we heard that PWC was going to build the bathroom, we wanted to dance all over the house. We were just excited about making sure that Joseph was reassured and knowing that he was going to be safe, secure, and there were people here to help us, and you can't put a price on that.
It's one of those things where you look at it and you think, well, yeah, one of these days it'll be done, but it's never that day. And when Brad told us last week, yeah, go ahead and use it, it's ready, that's when we celebrated. You know, we did a little Snoopy dance. It was cool.
I think PWC has one of the most unique models of any nonprofit that does even a part of what we do. We take a combination of corporate, government, and individual private contributions to get as much work done as we possibly can. And the success of that is over 11,000 services are performed annually in the greater Cincinnati area.
I would like that people volunteer their time first, give a little of their energy and effort to kind of see, again, how this works and why it's important and how it does touch lives.
I'd like to thank PWC and tell them how grateful I am. I'd also like to offer them a few minutes with Joseph, because then they know how awesome it is what they're doing. And he's the best gift there is. He's really incredible. And he's impacted a lot of people. Not sure whether more before or now, honestly. There's just something about him. And knowing Joseph for a few minutes, it's pretty good stuff. You know, we've kind of gotten used to doing without and being on a list and needing things. And it seems like for somebody with a disability, the price tag, you might as well just jack that up just because it needs to be accessible or for handicapped. So we're kind of used to doing without. And watching all these people, and their goal was to do one thing, and that was to help Joseph. And that's one of the neatest things I've ever seen. And you know what? I don't know who's paid or who's volunteer, because every one of them works as hard as the other one. You know, they all do. How do you feel about your new bathroom? Are you excited about it? Yeah. Do you feel safer?